Hello, friends and students. Let's study the song Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram. Okay, some beautiful singing to get us started off, right? Yes. Okay, so this piece we will play in the key of D in the meter of 4/4. To begin, let's just study the chords for this 4-measure progression that we can use to pretty much play the whole song. So we're going to need a D chord, a B minor chord, then an A chord, then a G chord. Okay, next is we're going to need a G over B. G over B. All right. Those are the 5 chords we will need to play it. If the G over B is a little bit new or makes you nervous, just play G. You can probably get a G in there instead. As I've said before, we can make some reasonable substitutions or simplifications as long as we have a nice beat and we can perform the melody clearly. We can accept these things, right? Okay, very good. So there's only 5 basic chords, but you can substitute that G over B for G, so that makes 4 basic chords. Now, the pattern of the chords is 4 measures long. There's 2 chords in each measure. All right, so on beat 1 and 2 of measure 1, we play the D chord, and then on beat 3 and 4, the B minor chord. Now moving to measure 2, beat 1 and 2, A chord, beat 3 and 4, G. Now, measure 3 is that G over B on beats 1 and 2. Beats 3 and 4 is the A. And then we're moving now to measure number 4, G chord on beat 1 and 2, and to finish the progression on beat 3 and 4 of measure 4, a D chord. Okay. So now let's discuss one interesting use of the progression. When the lead singer first presents the melody, he sings it all 4 measures by himself, and it follows the 4-measure progression that we just discussed. However, after that, much of the piece is presented in this typical style where the lead singer sings for 2 measures, and then the ensemble repeats the same 2 measures. So in reference to our 4-measure progression, it means you play measure 1 and 2 and then repeat measure 1 and 2. And then you would play measure 3 and 4 and then repeat measure 3 and 4. Okay, I hope that doesn't sound complicated. Let me demonstrate, and it's really not a hard thing to understand once you hear it. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3. Now the ensemble. Now the lead singer. Then the ensemble. Okay, so yes, the singing is not the greatest, but it's just to make a point, right? Hopefully you heard that it was the same 2 measures 2 times in a row, and then in measure 3 and 4 it was played 2 times in a row. So that is how we will use the 4-measure progression and effectively turn it into an 8-measure progression. All right, very good. Now let's look at the melody. Well, I have arranged the melody for this presentation to play it all on the 2nd string. Everything we will do will be on the 2nd string. So the lowest note in the melody is B, and that would be open 2nd string, and the highest note would be number 8 on the 2nd string, G. Okay, so we have these 6 notes in the range: B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, and G. So there's 6 notes: B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B. Okay, now let's begin to play the melody. Well, it's important to know where to start. You start on beat 4 before beat 1. a so-called pickup or a lead-in note or some anacrusis, right? So I will say in this way: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that was number 3 to number 5. Now continuing from there, we're now in measure number 1. Let's play number 7 2 times in a row. Now number 8, then back to number 7. Okay, and to finish measure 1, we're going to play 5, 3. Okay, so let's put it together in slow motion. Measure 1 with the pickup note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now measure number 2 is going to be 5, 5, 7, 5. The next 2 notes in measure 2 you can think of as like leading us into measure 3. Okay, that was number 3 to number 2. So let's now put together measure 1 and 2 in slow motion, remembering that the pickup notes for measure 1 start on beat 4. I'll count a little bit slower this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Alright, now you will notice, some of you are paying close attention, that I'm using some slurs, some legatos, and some hammer-ons and pull-offs. We're not going to discuss that too much in this video. Let's just worry about getting the right notes, and then you can employ your own articulations or gamakas based on your skill and interpretation and all these things. Okay, so now we're in measure 3. You can play the open B, open second string, 3 times in a row. Now up to number 5 on the second string. And then the next 2 notes to finish measure 3 are kind of like the lead-in notes to measure 4. Okay, now I will put together in slow motion measure 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now to finish, we're in measure 4 with this melody. We're going to play 5, 3, 2, 3. Okay, so measure 4, 5, measure 4, I'm just repeating what we did in measure 4, is number 5 to number 3 to number 2 to number 3. Okay, now is where we put together the whole thing in slow motion. Okay, 4 measure pattern of melody, all performed on the second string in the key of D major in the meter of 4/4, starting on beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. Okay, so there you have it. We have studied the 4 measure chord progression. We had discussed how to use the progression when they start to distribute the singing between the lead singer and the ensemble. And we also learned the melody of the first group of lyrics, or the verse, right? So now you should refer to the sheet music if you need to review, because sometimes the video goes pretty fast and it's okay to look these things up or stop or pause or repeat something. All right. Now, I hope with this you will have the tools to study well and have fun.